Welcome, my name is Xiaomi Redmi 9 and today I'll show you a couple tweaks and tricks you can do on this device. So we're going to begin with dark mode, which can be accessed either through settings on the display or sometimes also through the notification panel, but it looks like it is not the case right here. So let's go into the settings. From there, display and dark mode, and from here you can simply enable it permanently as such, or you can also set it up as schedule if you want to, and it will then turn on automatically. By default, it's going to start at 7 p.m. and end at 7 a.m. Now, those hours can be changed by you if you want to, but they actually seem to be fairly good. So, with that being on, basically during the day it's going to be in the light mode as it is right now, and then once it reaches 7 p.m. it's going to automatically switch to dark mode like this. So just a nice option right here for it to be scheduled. Now moving on to the next one, again under the display, it's going to be the color scheme right here, and by default set to be auto recommended, adjust colors based on the current lighting, but you can also set it up to be saturated or also standard. Now as you can see, standard is a little bit more yellowish, kind of, I guess best thing that I can compare it to in terms of like the difference and how it looks like is when you turn on True Tone on Apple devices. As you can see, the saturated, the white background is more bluish in a way, but when you turn on the standard, it becomes more yellowish. So, and here you can select whichever one you prefer more. It's completely up to you, and whichever one suits you better, that's the one that you should pick. So moving out of this and to the next one, it's going to be just a simple split screen. Now this option will work best when you're using something, for instance, like YouTube. So when you open up YouTube, you can then tap on Recent and tap on split screen, grab the app, there we go, and drag it over, boom. And now YouTube is split screening. Now the way you enable it isn't necessarily the most glamorous way that I have seen, but it works, so that's good. And as you can see, there is some YouTube content right here that I could turn on to play, which I guess I will after I mute it, so you can quickly see that it's going to be playing. And as you can see right now, video is playing. I can click on home, and even though it's completely not visible right now, it's still playing. Now I could bring up the music, but prefer to not get demonetized. So instead I'm just going to open up other app, and you can see that it did not stop playing. There we go. As you can see, it continues to play even though I haven't interacted with it. And you can do whatever you want right here, browse your web while listening for instance from something from YouTube, and it will just work completely fine. And again, once you press home, it's going to continue to play. The only time it's going to stop playing is if you lock your device or tap on to exit the split screen and close it up. And moving on to the next option which I wanted to show, it's going to be the sensors off. Now I believe this was introduced in Android 10, but I might be wrong. And also this is on majority of the devices, minus some that think that privacy isn't necessarily something that you might want, things like Huawei, for instance, but majority of the other companies give you the option to turn off all the sensors. That includes microphones, cameras, stuff like that. So if you want to have complete privacy and not be worried, for instance, that your device is listening to you, because obviously we all know that it does, you can go into these settings, and from here you want to go to About Phone, and then where you have the, I believe, EMUI version, tap on that 7 times. Now it tells me that no need, I'm already a developer, but once you tap on it 7 times yourself, it will basically enable developer options. And from there you want to go back and then go to, where is it? There we go, additional settings. And from here, once you scroll down, you will see developer options right over here. And if you scroll down in the developer options, you will have this section right here, quick settings, developer tiles. And just before I enable it, I'll pull down the notification panel, and you can see that there is, the first option is the mobile data. Keep that in mind. So now if I enable sensors off and leave it, pull down, now the first option is sensors off instead. And also, before I enable the sensors off, I'm gonna launch camera just so we can see that it runs fine, obviously. So let's turn on sensors off and reopen camera. Camera error, can't connect to camera. Oh, camera doesn't exist anymore, I guess. And this will basically persist. It won't let you launch applications, or they just won't work. Now I want to actually see one other thing. If I can quickly find some kind of voice recording. I'm not sure how microphones work in terms of, for instance, calls. I presume you will have to disable sensors off if someone is calling you, assuming it even keeps the connection to, or allows someone to call you. So let's look at screen recording, scanner, whereas FM radio. Let's go for screen recording. Start. Now, I guess this isn't any sensor, but probably should have first checked something else. Let me quickly go into let me quickly see if I go into here, settings. This is just quick check to see if it's recording voice as well. Record option, video quality, frame rate. It looks like there's no sound options in here, so oh no, there it is. Let's go to mic. There we go. So as you can see, sensors are still off, and let's just again try to record something. So test, and let's see if it works. Let's open it up and also bring up the volume. So as you can clearly hear, there is literally no voice. So like I expected, with sensors off, if someone calls you, I assume they won't be hearing you at all, because microphone is one of the sensors. So because it's basically disabled, if someone tries to call you, they can't hear you, because microphone is basically not even connected to the device at this moment. So keep that in mind. Close this. Oh, there we go. So yeah, but like I said, it gives you a privacy that some people might want. And yeah, now once you're done with it, you simply can tap on it to disable it, and from there everything will work just fine as it did before. And then on to the last option, it's gonna be the animation speed. Now by default there is not very many things you can do with animation speed, but because we have already enabled the developer options in there, we actually have here additional settings and developer options. And here when we scroll down, we will have animation speed. So let's look for it. There we go. So we have window animation scale, transition animation scale, and animation and duration scale. Now each one of them corresponds to a different kind of animation, but as you can see, all of them are set to 1. This is the default speed, and if you want to make it shorter, you will set to 0.5. So making that 0.5 will basically shorten the duration of animations by half. Now just to show a different animation, I think this is the window. So now it's set to times 10, and you can clearly see that it is just slow as well as you've probably ever seen it. And now you can also go to something a little bit more drastic and set it to off, and now there won't be any animation. It will be just popping in and out of view instantly. So I advise you to set it to 0.5. This will retain animations, but just make them twice as fast as they were before, and that will improve how quick you can get to apps, I would say. But if you want to make it more drastic, you can set it to off and just completely remove animations altogether. Now if you choose to do so, keep in mind that some animations, or some actions may look a little bit weird because they will be lacking animations. So just a little heads up. But yeah, so that was the last thing that I wanted to share. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.